Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Ariel Show. We are filming from Memphis, Tennessee today. I'm taking you backstage, I guess you'd call it. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to be talking about tour for a couple minutes because we are wrapping up our touring schedule for the rest of 2013. This is bittersweet, but I've asked my lovely Twitter followers to tweet in some questions for me as I wrap everything up, just kind of to share a little bit more about what road life is really like. And you responded, so thank you. If you want to tweet questions at me for the next podcast episode, it's at Barbie Ariel, and you can tweet about any subject. It doesn't have to be touring. And just to give you guys a little background on touring, there are 6 of us, 4 of us that play on stage, and then 2 crew members, and we all live in a 15-passenger van. The rest of everyone else is dudes, so I'm the only girl, and I actually kind of like it that way. And we basically get to the venue about 3 p.m. or so, and then we load all our stuff in. We set it up on stage, we do sound check if we're lucky, and then we kind of wait around and try to find food, and then we play, and then we hang out with everyone, then we tear down, and then we get in the van at like 11 or 12, and sometimes we sleep in the van, sometimes we have an overnight drive, so we have no choice, we just have to drive, and sometimes we get lucky and we get hotels, and that's really fun. So if we do get a hotel, we'll drive from about 9 in the morning till 3 p.m. and try to get to the venue on time. So that's pretty much kind of what my schedule looks like. The first question I have is, where do you generally eat? Is it tough to eat healthy? You guys have been paying attention. You know I'm trying to eat healthy. So I have kind of like a love-hate relationship with the road. And one way it's awesome because you get to travel everywhere. So you get to eat at like all these cute little sandwich shops and coffee shops. And then sometimes the venue will give you money called a buyout to get dinner. And then if you're in a cool area of the city, you can walk around and find the other restaurants. So me and Sean, we love to go get sushi. That's like been so fun to travel all over the country and eat awesome sushi from all these different places. But then on the other hand, oh my gosh, sometimes you're so pressed for time that you have to just completely skip a meal. And so that kind of sucks, and we're just starving loading in, but you just make the best of it. And sometimes there's only like McDonald's, and that's the only place there is to stop right off the highway. You get your Happy Meal and go. But I try to eat like gas station food because they have like string cheese and apples. That's usually what I go for. And then the next question I got for you is, does all the fan interaction you guys do get overwhelming? We actually do a meet and greet after every show. This is something that we've done from the very beginning, try to be out there with the kids, with the crowd as much as possible. And this is something that I hope that we never stop doing because I love it. I really enjoy it. It would be completely, I feel like a waste to do all this work, all this effort of setting up, then playing the show and tearing down to not make any kind of personal interactions. And this is kind of selfish on my part because it fuels me. It is like fuel for me to keep going, to hear the stories from you guys about how the music makes an impact. Because then I hear that, I'm like, oh, it actually matters. What we're doing actually, you guys actually care about it. I'm going to keep going. And that's what motivates me to sleep in the van and to do all the songwriting. It's what motivates all of us. That's why we get up every morning and do this and live this kind of crazy lifestyle. At the same time, personally, this is my problem, not yours. I get a little bit overwhelmed when it comes to like shaking hands and hugging. I'm not like a super touchy person with strangers, especially when they're all gross and sweaty. Come on in, you're fine. But we do it and we love it and it's worth it for you guys. So the next question I've got is, what do you like the most and least about the life that you have now? So my favorite part about tour life is getting to travel and see the cool places. And then I also just love being able to be on stage and be in my element. And this is something that when I'm off tour, I miss so much. Like, I feel like I need to be writing and creating and expressing myself through singing. And then when I get to perform that night after night on stage, like I feel complete. I feel like I'm doing what I was born to do. And then I'd say the hardest part is just sometimes I get really hard on myself because I know that I'm doing a job, the life of a rock star, quote unquote, that so many other people want to do. I know so many people. I grew up being that person that just wanted to do this, to be on tour. So I feel a tremendous sense of responsibility to always be super grateful and to always enjoy every second. But sometimes it is so insane. Like sometimes you feel crazy living this lifestyle, and so it's really hard to enjoy everything and to make the best of it. So sometimes I find myself beating myself up on tour when I'm not being, kind enough to the boys, to the crew. If I don't feel like I'm giving enough to the fans, like I really overanalyze it sometimes, and then it sucks the joy out of it. So I have to keep a good perspective, just like you have to do with everything in life. So that's all the questions that I have time for today, but I actually wrote a blog entry kind of on this whole topic a few months back. It's called What It's Like to Live in a Van with Boys, and you can find that at customcatastrophes.com, and you can read all my blog entries there, so I'd love to see you there. And I think that's all I've got for you today, but I will see you next time. I love you. You're amazing. Have the best week of your life. Bye.